Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, and other farm animals, this is Arynnia. Today is Tuesday, May 18th, 2021, or at least it will be when you're actually hearing this. And this is the first episode of the Studio 9 VlogCast. Now, this is just sort of a thing I thought I'd start to talk about what's been going on in my life, ramble on about some fun topics that seem interesting to me at least, and maybe give some channel updates along the way. So, I ought to start with why the relaunch took so long, why it started so late. I originally decided that I wanted to relaunch the channel in mid-April. I wanted to get back into it, and I was back in a place where I felt like I could do the kinds of things that I needed to in order to keep the channel going. And I'd originally targeted the first week of May. Now, that was my plan. Of course, the best laid plans of mice and men. What happened was, I ended up getting invited out to Pennsylvania to go spend some time with a friend. Now, that was really refreshing and a lot of what gave me some energy to get back into things, but it meant delaying the relaunch so that I could get my stuff together, get money together, get everything booked and such, and then go over to Pennsylvania for a week. That got done, and now I'm here, and it ended up already being May 13th the time I got back. So I wanted to rest a couple days, then get a couple days work in, and now here I am finally recording this the day before you guys hear it. Right now for me it's about 7 p.m. on May 17th. Of course it'll be May 18th the time you guys are actually listening. But so here's where the channel stands. You're seeing this on Studio 9, which is my new channel for not game things. The Arynnia channel is still around and is going to see regular uploads once again. In fact, I'm looking at this point on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Those are going to be my regular upload days. On top of that, there's going to be 3 new categories of content coming out. Of course, there's these vlogcasts and other things like them, which I'm sort of terming Studio 9 IRL. There's the new thing called Studio 9 EDU, which is sort of a thing I'm working on where I get to talk about and explain things in new ways that you might not have thought about them and maybe help you learn along the way. And then there's the fun things. Many of you might remember my old project Goes Nowhere Does Nothing that I launched on Arynnia some months ago. It didn't turn out very well, probably because it was so out there compared to my usual content, but I think things like that will fit in more here on Studio 9, so they're going to get rolled into this channel here as well. Arynnia, like I said, is still going to have regular uploads. Wednesdays and Sundays, and there's going to be Twitch streams. There's going to be a lot of them because one of the games that I used to play back in the day was an old MMO called City of Heroes. Now, in the past couple years, it's seen a reboot of sorts, but a lot of the server groups have not been allowing streaming of it. That recently just changed, and so my daily events will be getting streamed on the Arynnia Twitch channel. Those will be every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Basically every day of the week except Thursday, there will be a City Hero stream. And Tuesdays and Fridays, I think, are the days I currently have planned for other streams. So just note that there's going to be a lot more content coming out over the next several weeks to months, hopefully, if you guys enjoy everything. I've got some new graphical content, which you're seeing now in the background of the Studio 9 vlogcast. And that is filled by a new subscription thing that I have. It's called Motion Array. Now, there are still some other things I need to get set up. I'm hoping to have those set up in the next few days. There will be the return of music tracks to Twitch streams, and hopefully some new music coming to YouTube as well once I have time to go through the new music catalog that I have, as well as get Pretzel Rock set back up on my Twitch. So that's pretty much it for the channel news. Let me go ahead and talk about this trip over to Pennsylvania. So a friend of mine, he's been a long time, pretty much since the beginning, he's been a contributor to my Patreon. He's occasionally shown up at a few of my streams, but we've known each other for about 10 years now, and so he had the idea of bringing us all out for his 25th birthday. So we went out to where he lives out in Pennsylvania, out in the woods. We shot guns, we had food, we camped out. Funny story out there. It was our first night actually camping. When I got over there, we stayed in a motel because not everything was set up because it had been pouring down rain. Second night we got out there, and we wanted to make sure that everyone would be nice and warm because it got down to like 30 degrees that night. Well, turns out I'm fairly tall and also rather large for reasons I shall not get into. but they didn't have a sleeping bag that would fit me. Now, it's not exactly cheap to haul something like a sleeping bag all the way from Spokane, Washington, the eastern Washington area, over to Pennsylvania. It's $30 each way for a checked bag. And since I'd already paid for mine, I would have had to actually pay $60 each way at the counter. So it would have been cheaper to just buy a sleeping bag. I didn't have that kind of money, though. Unfortunately, that was part of the issue as to why this got started so late. So we actually had the bright idea of, when we were in the tent, of throwing a tarp into the tent and using that to just sort of trap some of the extra body heat in there. And the only tent that they could spare at that point was this 64 by 64 foot tent. For those of you who speak metric, that's something like 20 meters each side. I can't remember the exact conversion, but it's like 20 meters a side, pretty close to. And that would help on top of the sleeping bag and on top of all the blankets that we had, and etc. Well, we got the thing about 2/3 in, and with just this flood of tarp coming into our tent, we're all just sitting there cracking up. I mean, I was laughing so hard I was crying. The guy next to me was laughing so hard he was crying. The two outside the tent trying to shove this tarp in were pretty much dying out there in 30, 40 degree weather. And it was just a good time all around. But it was nice to go see friends. Maybe you'll hear more from them in later things. We have talks about some things that we might do with that group on Studio 9, like as part of my VlogCasts. It would help if I could speak. But that's just a little bit of what I've been going through. I've been back to work for several months now, and that has made things a lot easier on me in terms of financial worries. But of course, getting back into channel work does mean there are a lot of things I want to do, and a lot of those things I need money to do. So of course, if you can subscribe through Patreon, become a subscriber on Twitch. I know if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free on Twitch. My Twitch link will be down in the description, as will the Patreon, as will my website, which you can tip on. But all of that helps as we're getting started here. So bear with us. More of the content that you're used to seeing from me will be coming on the Arynnia channel, and new content will be coming here on Studio 9. But for now, this is Arynnia, signing off. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next VlogCast.